All right, I will be dropping my mock draft today. No trades, no nothing. I'm just gonna give you the picks who I think is the best. I'm not gonna try to think like Quinn Tricia or Matt Patricia or Bob Quinn or nothing like that. I'm just gonna give you my opinion in the draft. But right now, what is the best and worst case scenarios for the Detroit Lions leaving out this draft? So let's talk about it. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Got a Piston video coming for you guys later, or if I don't drop it first. But hey, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Check out our one-on-one playlist for the Lions live stream. So I might go live after the draft tomorrow night, depending on how I'm feeling, or I might just take it into the morning. So yeah, we're gonna talk some Lions live. I won't go live during the draft because I just don't feel like it. Not on this channel. If I do go live Thursday, it's gonna be over at Goodfellas Sports TV, and we'll be chopping it up about the draft. So that should be epic. But let's carry on. Worst case scenario, let's start off there and we get into the best case scenario. Worst case scenario for the Lions, and this is not a particular player, I believe is this. I believe they leave this draft without pass rush and front seven help. I think that's one of the worst case scenarios, one of them. You know, if you leave this without immediate help, if you banking on Deshaun Hand, Danny Shelton, Trey Flowers, you banking on those guys to really get the job done, and then you probably gonna fill in with guys that can be capable or may not contribute, or guys you drafted last year, like the kid from Clemson. I don't know if the kid from Arizona is still on the team, but if you don't address the front seven with a pass rusher at least, I think that is the worst case scenario. One of the worst case scenarios coming out this draft. You need somebody that is respected off the edge. They don't have to be Chase Young. You know what I'm saying? There's hidden gems throughout the draft. I think they need D-line help. You know what I'm saying? You talking about a guy on the interior that can rush the pass rusher. They need another run. They need another run stopper as well behind Danny Shelton. They need another twitchy guy behind Hand on the inside that can get up and down. They can get up. That can get up in the field, up the field, and make some disruptions. And they need somebody on the edge that can be prepared to help Trey Flowers. May they be in the 34 to 4-3. They do a lot of hybrid things. You know what I'm saying? If Collins gonna be rushing off the edge, then you know, let him rush off the edge. But I do think they need an heir apparent to Collins, somebody that can stand up and somebody that can put his hand in the dirt, kind of play that Devin Kennard role. So if they don't address the front line with immediate impact players, especially from the defensive tackle position, I think that's one of the worst case scenarios you can come, because they do it every year. They underestimate their D-line. People say their D-line is good. Danny Shelton is not a starting lineman in this league, not a 3-down one. Deshaun Hand, you can't count on him. So you 2 injuries away, or you poor performance away next year from what? You have to have multiple defensive linemen that can answer the call when need be. You know what I'm saying? Second worst case scenario, as far as we continue on, is, if you don't address the offensive line, some things you got to have there. And when I say address the offensive line, you have to find you a guy that's at least going to be the heir apparent to Taylor Decker next year. You know what I'm saying? You have to find somebody, maybe play him at right tackle this year and kick him to the left. I think we all seen that Taylor Decker ain't that guy. They picked up the option for 11.9 or something million last year, but he's not that guy. So you have to prepare for a guy to take over. So they have to find an heir apparent to Taylor Decker at the left side. You can play him at the right this year, kick him to the left and middle or next year, but that has to happen. And also you have to go find you a guard in this draft. Maybe Cesar Ruiz, who can play guard and center just like Graham Glasgow did, another Michigan product. So they have to find a guard, a backup center, and right now, if you don't do that, I think if you come into this season with a right tackle, maybe Crosby, and then you put Big V into the right guard position, Ragnow, and you coming in the season with Dell and Wiggins starting at left guard and Taylor Decker, you might as well get Matthew Stafford a wheelchair and a back brace, because it's over with. He's not going to survive this season with that offensive line, and you banking on the Lions developing a kid from Wisconsin, or Wiggins or Dow getting better. That's just ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? You have to feel that with talent. Me personally, I'm kind of feeling them moving down and taking the tackle out of Louisville. I know he has some drug issues. but it seems to be a blip more than a trend. Or if not, Tristan Wirfs. I think Wirfs is going to be more of a right tackle than a left. And we tried that before. Riley Reef was more of a right tackle than a left. So I think the Bakari, whatever, Bakhtan guy is the guy that I like to play the left tackle. But you have some prospects down the line that play tackle from Alabama and a lot of different guys. So, but I do think the tackle they get got to be able to kick to the left side next year, unless they plan on drafting left tackle next year. So the offensive line has to be addressed as well. And, I think another thing is this too. Worst case scenario, if they don't come out this draft with a change of speed back, with experience, people talking about Tyler Johnson, he just don't have the experience to get in there at that level. I think they need a Jonathan Taylor, or I think they need a guy like DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers. I would take a banger like Zach Moss. You know what I'm saying? But they got to come out here with some fresh new blood at the running back position in this draft. They got to. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, we don't really have the picks. You got to have that talent, because you can't count on Bo Scarborough to carry the load if Kerryon go down. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, if they move down, they probably got to take 2 running backs. You can get Moss and get Taylor. I like Taylor a lot. People talking about the fumbling. He's not gonna come here and be a full-time running back. He's gonna be a running back by committee. Kind of got to run it like the 49ers run it. And he can. You need that explosive back out the backfield. Somebody that they can fear with the deep, that can just hit a home run. And I feel that he one of those guys. Love DeAndre Swift. Ability to catch it and run it out the backfield as well. But they just gotta come with that type of guy. So I think those are the 3 worst case scenarios for Lions. Best case scenario, I believe if they come out this draft, with starters. If they draft a starter at tackle, they draft a starter, at defensive lineman, they draft starters and guys that can come in day one and have an impact. That's the best case scenario, but that's one. The second best case scenario, if they find Matthew Stafford's backup heir appearing in this draft, I think they have to find a guy that can eventually take over from Matthew Stafford. I think that's critical. Also, they come out this draft with a punter. Nobody talking about the punter, how he switch field position. That's a great scenario. To continue on with the scenario, they come out with better team speed than they went on. If they come out with better team speed than they went in with, that's a great scenario. If they add guys like Isaiah Simmons up front, or they can get Chase Young up front, they can get some, guys that they can bring speed to the defense. If they can get a guy that can bring speed to the offense like Taylor, and like some of the other faster receivers, if they can upgrade their team speed, then that's a huge success for them. So those are things they got to be looking to do, man. And fill those needs and fill them with good players. But, I don't think Bob Quinn can evaluate talent. He's so safe that it just doesn't make sense. So, like I continue to say, man, the best case scenario is if they come out with a Matthew Stafford heir apparent, they come out with more speed than they went into, they fill those needs that we talked about, and the toughest needs. The top needs are as this is listed, all right? The offensive line got to be number 1. All right, that has to be the top priority because Matthew Stafford back. So that offensive line got to get better. You know what I'm saying? Then you talk about the offensive line. They did a story in the Free Press this morning, I think it was, where they talked about how, the linebacker positions, still not good enough. They need to upgrade there. I can agree. But your linebackers are usually only good as your front 4. So if they don't address the defensive line as far as with, depth, pass rushing, and another run blocker to play behind Danny Shelton, I don't believe that they're gonna come out. It's not gonna come out well. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not concerned about the linebackers because that's what Patricia liked. He picked his guys. So we talking about both lines. That's the most important thing to a football team. Those needs got to be filled. Then you tell me a third need coming in. It has to be the team speed. It has to be guys that Matthew Stafford can just, dump the ball off to and they can go to the crib. They have to be those type of guys, but he, they got to get a running back that can do something. They got to get a receiver that can stretch the field. They need another cornerback because Trufant not gonna hold up. Safety they got needs at safety. When we talking about the top 2 needs, offensive line, defensive line is 2. Top 2. Then you can get into, guys like the cornerbacks, the safeties, the running backs, the receivers. Then you can get into that type of stuff. So those are, worst case, best case scenarios and the needs. I'm going to drop a mock draft a little bit later. So I'm going to do a live mock draft for Goodfellas Sports TV. Check that out. Not the 2.0 version, but the regular version, Goodfellas Sports TV. If you want to check that overall mock draft, I got my 49er boy coming on with me, and maybe have one or two more people come on. So if you need to reach out to me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the links in the description. You can reach out to me. We got business question, card response, video request, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal, subscription, best way to donate, share the video. Let me know what you guys think. We go.